For those who grew up poor, what did you consider a luxury? Being allowed to turn on the heat during the winter, and also being able to hire a professional to fix broken appliances, plumbing, etc. I think that's what pushed me to be the jack of all trades type. If something broke, calling a professional was out of the question. Dad would fix it. Sometimes shittily, but he'd do it. Definitely those types of experiences that shape you as a person. My mom had 7 children in 10 years, 1950 to 1960. I remember having a whole bottle, those smallish glass ones that came out of the machine for 10 cents, of soft drink to myself instead of sharing one bottle between all 7 of us. I was perhaps 5 years old. I still remember this as the best thing ever. My mom did the same but in the 80s. Looking back, I think she had a pregnancy addiction. Life before my 6 siblings and life after were like 2 completely different lifetimes. I remember having stuff when we were very little, but as we got older we just had more kids to look after instead of toys and food. I adore all my siblings and wouldn't change them for the world, but I often wonder what having a real childhood is like and how it might have helped me. Parents staying home. I was always alone. Also, parents helping out with homework and school projects. They can't do that if they always work 3rd shift. My projects were always notably shittier than everyone else's, and it's not like the teachers cared about how much effort I put into them. My schools always had an option for science fair that if you weren't doing a research project you could just write a paper. I always wrote a paper because I never had help with my projects, nor did I have the resources to actually do a legitimate science fair project. The one year we had a few nickels, 5th grade, that I could actually afford to do a legitimate science fair project, I did one on electricity and conductivity of materials. By the time my class showed up to the cafeteria to present our projects, all the other kids picked off all the pieces of my project, so it was a board with some pictures and nothing else. I failed that for no fault of my own and never did another science fair project ever again the few times I was able to. Staying at someone's house who wasn't poor, like a relative or friend. Their house was also so clean, beautiful, pictures on the wall, knickknacks on the counter, and carpet you could play on because it was clean. I spent my entire teenage years hiding where I lived. Edit, I had no idea how many people felt the same way. I have no resentment towards my parents because they sacrificed so much for me and my brother. We are college grads, with careers we love, not living paycheck to paycheck because of how much our parents loved us and helped us achieve. I am like an anti-hoarder now. I don't like to own anything I don't use or need or like looking at. I throw out or donate things I don't use anymore. I hate clutter, dirty floors, and those random stacks of papers and mail that form so quickly. Too bad we couldn't have been friends as teenagers. I used to love flipping through home furniture catalogs like IKEA and fantasizing about what my dream bedroom would be, complete with framed posters, a professional study table with a desk lamp and office doodads, dressers that matched the hamper and trash bin, and an actual framed bed. My family didn't really have anyone over ever because we were honestly embarrassed we didn't have all the furnishings of a proper house. Same dude, window shopping was my favorite thing to do. Even for stuff so much as the cutlery and plates I wanted. Hell, my bed was a twin mattress on the floor and I was so excited when I could buy myself a brand new mattress with a box spring and bed frame. I made my mom cry one time, because she pushed me about why I never had friends over, and I said I was ashamed. I never complained about our living situation again after that. Reading these comments is making me feel less alone. I never told my parents, but I invited some friends over after much consideration about letting them know how and where I lived. Only my best friend showed up, and even she made a comment about how small our kitchen is, not snarkily though. Over the years my assumptions about our living place got confirmed because of the way people would comment on it if they saw it from outside, or how they'd be surprised if they found out where I lived. It's nice to know I'm not the only person in the world who feels this way, because all my friends even now have much nicer, bigger homes with their own rooms. I remember in 8th grade on my birthday at school, one of my teachers asked me what gifts I had received. He asked in front of the whole class. I excitedly shared that I would be getting contact lenses. My parents let me choose one thing that I wanted, and I desperately wanted to stop wearing the broken glasses I had, which I usually didn't wear. One of the boys in class made a comment like, "Contacts aren't a present." And my teacher had to explain to him again in front of everyone that for some families they were too expensive not to be a luxury. After that experience I worked 2 and 3 jobs in high school so I could buy myself and my brothers the things we needed. The first thing I bought with my money from my first job as a hostess at a diner was a queen-size bed because my twin mattress was about 20 years old and at 15 I was having back problems and issues with rusted springs poking me. Having my own bedroom. Hey man, I'm 32. I went from sleeping in the living room to sleeping with my girlfriend in our room. I've never had my own room yet, though I guess having a man cave is a decent alternative. I went from sharing a room with my 3 siblings, to sharing with 1 sibling, to sharing with 2 roommates, to sharing with my, now ex-boyfriend, and I now have my own room while my, current, boyfriend's room is right next door. It's luxurious.